Let me state as clearly as I can. My father was not financially involved in my business, not as a practicing lawyer, not as a board member of Burisma, not in my partnership with a Chinese private businessman, not in my investments at home nor abroad, and certainly not as an artist. I'm here today to answer at a public hearing any legitimate questions Chairman Comer and the House Oversight Committee may have for me. I'm here today to make sure that the House Committee's illegitimate investigations of my family do not proceed on distortions, manipulated evidence, and lies.
They have no evidence, of course, to support this inquiry, but since this majority never lets facts get in the way of a good set of Fox News talking points, here we are.
If my friends are so confident, again, as one of my colleagues mentioned from the Rules Committee, what are you worried about? It's an investigation. It's open. We hardly talked about what the resolution's about, which is how we're going to proceed. And how are we going to proceed? Almost exactly as my friends proceeded in 2019. Their playbook, their play, their approach.
And Republicans are weaponizing this addiction and using it to attack President Biden, a man of decency and integrity. Frankly, it's one of, if not the most despicable things I've seen in my whole career here in Congress.
Follow up on inflation. Housing costs have continued to go up significantly, even as we've seen other prices moderate. I know that obviously you said there's more to do, but what specifically can the White House do policy-wise here to make it easier for people to afford rent, much less ever have a hope of buying a home?
No, it's a good question, and you're right. There are Americans who are very much still having a very hard time as it relates to housing, paying their bills. And so what we have done is, as you know, very early on in this administration, we put forth a housing plan, affordability plan that we believe is going to try to get some of these families to get over those hurdles, and we're talking about thousands of families, and we still need to do a lot more work on this, but we certainly have put forth a plan to make sure that we address some of the concerns, and that's why lowering costs, the announcement today, the announcements that we've made on junk fees for Americans. But you're right, there's still more work to be done. The president has said this. We put forth, like I said, a plan to reduce mortgage insurance premiums, for example, to make sure that that student loan borrowers qualify for mortgages. That's really important.
The Fed what's due from here, but in terms of people's perception of the economy, of Bidenomics, how much of a factor do you feel like interest rates? Where the Fed is setting interest rates plays into that?
I'm going to be really careful because even speaking on that is